America is closing in on the first year of President Trump's second administration. And after 4 years of Biden, affordability is the top concern. As Trump works to bring down inflation from Biden-era highs, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett says a big part of the plan is tackling income inequality, which he explains to our own Laura Trump.
You know, the income inequality went way down under President Trump in the first term because the fastest growing wages were for people in the bottom 20% of the income distribution. Did you ever hear anybody on the left say something like, wow, we care so much about income inequality. They got income inequality to go down. How did they do that? Let's do more of that. That's what I think a patriot should do, and that's not what we're seeing in politics right now.
And let's bring in the aforementioned Laura Trump, host of My View. So great to see you this morning, Laura. Thank you for getting up with us. You know, it is a really important point that Hassett makes right there about Democrats never talk about prosperity. And when you look at the Trump tax cuts in his first administration and you look at everything he's trying to do now, it's about raising wages and shrinking income inequality.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest, Charlie. The reality is the Democrats would like to kind of beat a lot of people down and tell you you're a victim. And then what do? You turn to the Democrats for help. Of course, that's the whole play because they don't really have any solutions or plans. The good news is this president does. And, you know, whether we're talking about that income inequality or just general affordability of life, what were we talking about, Charlie, 1 year ago right now? Egg prices were sky high across the country. The average egg price was around $4.15 for a dozen eggs. Now it is down below $2 for a dozen eggs. That is what this president is a master at. He understands this economy and he understands how not just to get it up and running and see a lot of growth like we have already seen under this president, but he also understands how to help every American achieve their shot at the American dream. Gas prices as well. During Biden's administration, you know, that was part of the reason that we saw such high inflation. The gas prices are now down below $3 a gallon nationwide. This is great news for this country, but it really is amazing what a difference a year and a president will make. And Kevin Hassett is pretty amazing. You know, he is on my show tonight, 9 p.m. right here on Fox News. And we talk about a whole host of different things as it relates to the economy. But he's been with this president since day one. And one of the things he says in our interview is he says, you know, people laughed at this president and what we wanted to do for our economy and our workers and our people here in America during the first term. We actually outperformed what we even thought we'd do first term. And I believe we can do it again in the second term. So that's great news for the country. I think a lot of the seeds that have been planted by this president for economic growth and for people, we're going to see come to fruition in the very near future.
Well, we will definitely tune in to see Kevin Hassett tonight on your show. What else do you have coming up tonight?
Well, I call him the funniest man on Capitol Hill, Senator John Kennedy. I mean, I tell him I think he could have another job as a comedian. His one-liners are the best there is. We're talking, of course, about affordability, but also about these upcoming midterms. Ambassador Mike Waltz just got back from his first official trip as UN ambassador overseas in the Middle East. He's talking with us about it. And then we actually have the longest serving White House chief usher. This is the person who works with the first family. He was there for 40 years and he's got some great stories, holiday stories, and likewise to talk with us about. And he's absolutely adorable. I absolutely love this interview. So I can't wait for everybody to see it. And you can tune in tonight to see it all there.
Well, we can't wait to see it. That'll be a good one. Laura Trump, thank you so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhardt. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.